Two new scanners. We've got Creality Sermoon S1, and we have Revopoint MetroY Pro. Which one gets the best results? Which one's easier to use? Which one is worthy of your money? Let's find out in another Andy's Shed. Well, here's the box that MetroY comes in. Another massive metal flight case. Very nice. Let's open it up. I apologise, I have actually opened this already because I needed to test some things, but so stuff's not in plastic, but this is how it comes. So here is the scanner itself. Very different shape to Metro X. Let me just grab a Metro X and I'll show you what they look like together. Okay, so here's Metro X next to Metro Y. So we've got closer together stereo sensors. That's going to help with getting into holes and deep things. We seem to have mostly the same projectors. We've got the additional laser projector for a single line. So it's more ergonomic to hold than Metro X. Metro X is a bit of a brick. Metro Y, it's got these nice hand grips. All that's nice to see. So now we have a standard tripod mount on the device itself, whereas Metro X we had to use a sort of a cradle thing. So nice to see. Still got the bumpers over the lenses so that we can place it down without damaging or scratching any of the lenses. Again, nice to see. Buttons on the top feel similar to the ones on, again, a little bit clickier, but same layout, similar, very nice. So we also get in this package the excellent dual axis turntable. What's this? Power supply for the turntable. So the excellent dual axis turntable, this connects via Bluetooth and is controllable. You can adjust the angles. You can do it manually as well if you wish. But RevoScan or Revometro can control this, which is excellent for auto turntable. And to be honest, this is just an excellent turntable. I use it with all my scanners. Revopoint really knocked it out of the park with this one. Right. And so what else? We have mains lead. I'm in the UK, so UK socket. We have a tripod made of metal. That's a pretty substantial tripod, that, with a ball head. It's extendable. We've got a ball head on it. Yep, very nice. We also have mobile phone holder and the mobile battery. So it comes with it. USB-C on the side. We've got tripod at the bottom, tripod at the top. Place this on here like this. There we go. And then you can use the Revo mirror software to mirror what your PC sees. What else have we got? Cable for the little battery pack. I guess it's just power. The main scanner cable. We're USB-C now, whereas we were USB-A before. Connector looks to be the same, but it's now coming out straight, whereas if I remember correctly, Metro X's one comes out at an angle. So, but it's the same, similar connector anyway, same clip. Okay, what do we got here? And we have in the back, we have a glass calibration plate. Oh, and certificate of calibration. Very nice. And this is Sermoon. Comes in a extremely tough plastic flight case. So we have, what's in here? I haven't actually opened this yet. Let's have a look. What have we got? We have some instructions, some markers, cleaning cloth, not sure what that is, lots of markers, both 3mm and 5mm. That's nice to see. And the ubiquitous same USB-C to A card that everything else uses. Cable is the same as Raptor Pro by the looks of things. Yep, 5.5 by 2.2 barrel and USB-A. We have power supply, which again 12 volt 2 amp means you should be able to power it from a power bank if you've got a USB PD trigger. That's they do exist, you can buy them pretty much anywhere. And here is Sermoon. It's a little bit bigger than Raptor. Yeah. What's that? That would appear to be the, yep, that's a tripod mount there. So that's nice. Got rubber bumpers for when you put it down. Still no bumpers at the front. See, one of the things I really like about both Metro X and Metro Y, you got these bumpers at the front, which means you can put the scanner down, face down, protecting the lenses without scratching them, whereas this has to be placed on its side. So Sermoon against Raptor in terms of size, it's a little bit longer, and again, just line it up. The depth cameras appear to be about the same distance apart. It's about the same weight. Oops, got it the wrong way around. Yeah, buttons are much clickier. I don't know if you can hear that. There we go. Okay, interesting. Oh, there's more stuff underneath. Let's have a look. What's underneath? Ah, calibration plate. Okay. Nice. And nothing else. So yeah, another glass calibration plate. That's nice to see. So, put that back. Let's get to it. Okay, here they are next to each other. Let's talk specs. Well, first, the big one is price. MetroY Pro RRP comes in at £1,430, about the same in dollars. I'll put the actual dollar pound figure up here. Sermoon comes in at $2,899, so well over double what MetroY Pro costs. And that does not include the scanning grip, the ScanBridge, which is a further £380 on top. So in order to get Wi-Fi and similar features to MetroY Pro, you're going to be in for over £3,000. So yeah, we're double the price, but we'll find out, is it double the scanner? So let's look at the specs in general. So accuracy, both claim 0.02 millimeters of accuracy, single frame. MetroY claims 0.02 millimeters plus 0.04 millimeters per meter in length. That is how, if you're scanning something long, that is how the accuracy changes the bigger the object that you scan. So Sermoon is 0.02 plus 0.08 millimeters per meter, so half as accurate over larger distances, they claim. Fused point resolution, both the same, 0.05 millimeters. Now, field of view of the cameras, this was a complaint of Metro X, was that the field of view was quite narrow. Field of view is considerably larger on MetroY at 49 by 38 degrees. I couldn't find a figure for Sermoon S1. It's similar. I think it's probably a little bit greater FOV on the wide laser modes than MetroY, but it's fairly close in terms of what they see. So point acquisition speed 1.7 million per second with MetroY Pro at 60 frames per second, and 1.4 million points per second at 90 frames per second with Sermoon S1. So odd, it's capturing half as much again frames per second but fewer points per second, which is interesting. So modes, both of them do 34 crossed lines. MetroY has 15 parallel, whereas Sermoon only has 7 parallel, which it ends up being quite a tight arc that you need to keep your scan in. Both have single line mode for getting deep into holes and stuff, and then we have the big differences in modes. MetroY has a full field laser mode and an auto turntable mode. Sermoon has a NIR mode. It'd be interesting to see if that's any better than the NIR that was on Raptor Pro, which was pretty poor, to be honest with you. What do you get in the box? MetroY, you get the scanner, obviously, plus the cables. You get the turntable, the dual axis turntable, the excellent dual axis turntable, as you've seen me take it out of the box. Tripod, markers, battery grip, calibration board, so everything you need. Sermoon S1 comes with the scanner, the cables, markers, calibration board. That's it. So package wise, this seems to be a better value so far, but let's see what they're like as scanners. So on to the first scan. So these are the things we're going to be scanning today. I'm going to be testing this, which is rather cool. It's called ScanBridge by somebody called Mary Julian, and it's available to download on MakerWorld. Now, this is quite interesting because we've got various depths here, which are all marked 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 millimeters in depth. We've got a known distance between these, so 6 millimeters, 7 millimeters there. We've got some screw threads and screw holes. And yeah, I think this is going to be interesting. I've also printed this in black to test the scanner's ability to scan black objects, so should be interesting. We've got this. Now, the reason I've picked this is because we have a very deep hole in the bottom with a lot of features, so we'll be able to test single line mode and how deep it gets inside there. Should be a good one. This one, just a mother and child statue made of porcelain. I'll be using this in NIR mode and full field on the MetroY. And just in order to scan something big-ish, we got one of my son's Nerf blasters. Should be an interesting one. But yeah, so that's what we're going to scan. As usual, I'll be using my Lenovo Legion Pro 7i for all scan jobs. So the first thing we're going to scan is the ScanBench, and we're going to scan this in crosslines mode. And these are the settings we're going to use. We're going to do the target point distance 0.15. Remember, that doesn't actually affect the final detail, it's just what the preview shows us. Crosslines, marker tracking, general object type, and yeah, nothing special. Off we go. I am using the battery grip with the MetroY Pro. I just find it easier to hold it like that rather than hold it in my hand. You can do it either way. But as you can see, we're just painting the object with the laser lines and just waiting for it to build up. We're going to capture 10,000 frames with this. But let's speed it up because it's not particularly exciting. And we'll call that good. So there's our point cloud. Have a look. Yep, lots of mess, but we'll get rid of all of that. Let's fuse it, and we will fuse it at 0.15 millimeters with the high quality preset, and off we go. Looking good. Alright, let's get rid of some of this rubbish around the bottom. Use the plane cut tool, which I love because it's great at just getting rid of like large amounts of data very quickly. Get rid of that. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. Go back. Okay. Do an isolation detection, get rid of all of that rubbish. There we go, all that's gone. And there we go, on an overlap. Looking good. Let's do one last isolation. There we go, there's a couple of points there. We've got a little piece of the background there that we can see. We'll just leave it, it's fine. Right, we'll mesh it at the same pitch as our point-to-point distance. So 0.15. And off we go. Lovely. Right, let's export that and head over and have a look at what Sermoon can do. So, same settings, 0.15 real-time resolution, crosslines mode, marker tracking, laser. So, same deal, just paint the object with the laser lines One thing you will notice, the laser lines from Sermoon are considerably brighter than those out of MetroY. That is both a good and a bad thing. Good because it enables you to more easily see where you're scanning, but it's bad because it refracts off of everything. And with the lines being so bright, if you have anything that is slightly absorbent of light colors, such as anything white 3D printed, it does scatter the laser lines throughout the object, thus ruining the scan. Still not a big fan of this blue equals good, brown equals not good for Creality Scan 4. I much preferred the older green is good, red is bad that it was on the previous one and in Revopoint. And we'll call that good. So, looking okay. One thing I do like with Creality Scan is the ability to get rid of scan data before fusion. One thing I don't like is how few tools are available. You've just got square and lasso, that's it. There's no sort of plane cut, there's no, yeah. It does make editing the scan somewhat problematic. Plus, I don't know about anyone else who's used to using Creality Scan. I find the viewport movement just incredibly weird. Sometimes trying to orient an object to make a cut of data, I just find it really difficult to get it to line up. It's like the object just doesn't move where I expect it to based on my mouse movements. And there we go, fused. Looking okay. Yep. Let's mesh it. Try and make it the same number of triangles as we have points, same as Revopoint does. And meshed. Cool. Let's export that. Okay, let's do some subjective analysis of some of these scans. This is purely going to be what I think looks best. So we've got Sermoon on the left and MetroY Pro on the right, both fused and meshed at 0.15. It's the same grey benchy. I mean, on first glance, they look very, very similar. Let's zoom in and have a look. Let's have a look at this pyramid here. Let's try and get the same angle. Yeah, MetroY looks to be a little bit noisier, but it's a little bit noisier than Sermoon, but we'll have a look at, let's see what sort of detail we got on these screw threads over here. So Sermoon, you can see it's a thread, but it's not particularly well defined. Let's have a look at MetroY. Zoom that out to the same level. Yeah, that's a bit better. I mean, neither of these are really, I mean, you could work out what the thread pitch was from either of these. MetroY is nicer. I think I think Sermoon is doing some kind of smoothing on its meshing, even though I've got it turned off. Let's have a look at the base itself. Let's see if we can see the layer lines, and we can on both of them, so that's good. Both of them have captured down to the 7mm depth, so that's good from a sort of holes perspective. What else can we see? Let's have a look round at this bit. Yep, so we can see the 6 and 7mm labels there on the tower. Let's get that the same. There we go. Yep, very similar. I'm gonna call this one a tie. Let's move on to the next. Parallel lines now. We'll scan the same object, same detail level with the parallel lines for both scanners and see what we get. I'm going to edit this down so the video doesn't end up being like several hours long, but you'll see the final analysis towards the end. Here we have the same benchy, scan bench. This time we are scanned parallel lines. On the left is Sermoon, on the right is MetroY Pro again. Let's have a look what we can see. So I'm seeing a little bit more detail on the base with Sermoon. The lines in the 3D print are a little bit easier to see. I mean, you got to realize we are pixel peeping here. I mean, I'm using a radiance scaling filter which just shows up absolutely everything, and I'm doing it this way deliberately so that I can see them in their, well, their worst light, shall we say. So, okay. I apologise if you hear some clicking in the background. My dog is moving around all over the place and is making a racket with her feet on her claws on the wooden floor. So sorry about that. Right, let's have a look again. So surface quality. Again, see, this is strange. I honestly think Sermoon is doing some smoothing, even though it is turned off. It's yeah, it's interesting. I wonder if it's the noise reduction that's doing it, but then MetroY has some noise reduction. So okay, let's have a look at the screw threads again. Much better defined this time on the parallel lines for Sermoon, and again looks like MetroY pretty much the same. Yep. And again, both scanners have managed to scan down to the 7mm depth on this, so that's good. MetroY seems to be a bit sharper around these circles. So maybe better edge finding algorithm. Okay, we can see the threads in this M6 hole here, which we couldn't on the on the cross lines, and again we can see it the same in MetroY. Let's have a look around here. Yep, 6 and 7mm. Again, slightly less well defined on Sermoon. Looks like Sermoon failed to get the depth on the side. I mean, that could just be me rather than the scanner, but again, I mean, you can't, it's really difficult to split these two. I think I'm going to call this one a tie as well. I mean, I'm seeing some better things on the MetroY Pro scan, some better things on the Sermoon. Yeah, we'll go with another tie for that one. So next up is the plug. We're going to use this to check the single line depth modes. Now what I'm going to do is take a scan using a rough scan using cross lines mode with both scanners, and then switch to single line mode to get the depth. Now this works differently between the two scanners. With MetroY Pro, you complete your scan in cross lines, then you select continue scan and you change the mode to single line. With Sermoon, you can switch between cross and single line while you're in the middle of scanning. Now we're on the single line test. Now if you remember, I scanned this in cross lines and then switched over to single line to get the depth detail. And this is where we're going to see the first major difference here. So, I mean, we can clearly see, I mean, this is a win for MetroY Pro. We're getting much deeper into that area than we managed with Sermoon. We've got the bases of these little cutouts here. They're just holes in this one. Ignore the surface quality. I literally just scanned the two together with like what 3,000 scans I think you saw in the thing, just to give the single line something to register against. Yeah, we've got the molding here and the C label down there, and molding's not doing so good there. Again, smoother surface quality on Sermoon. I guess it's got some pretty heavy noise reduction going on. But yeah, this one is definitely a win for MetroY Pro. Moving on. Next up is the black ScanBench to see how these scanners do at dark objects. Remember, MetroY Pro has a special mode for this. Sermoon does not, but you can achieve the same results by cranking the laser brightness right up. We're back to the ScanBench again, but this time the black one, and yep, very similar. We're seeing the noise creep into the Sermoon now. It's much the same between the two, actually, the amount of noise we've got going on here. Let's have a look at those screw threads. Yeah, and we've made a bit of a mess of that, and we don't even have a screw thread here. Let's see with the MetroY. At least we've managed to scan both of them, but again, made a bit of a mess of that because it's in that part of the screw thread is difficult to scan because it's behind this, so it's kind of in shadow. The internal threads there, we've got those reasonably well defined on the MetroY, not so much on the Sermoon. Both of them again managed to mostly do the 7mm depth. No real winners here on this one again. Yeah, very, very similar. Yeah, I'm calling that one. It's a tie again. Now we're going to scan the Nerf blaster. I've just sprinkled marker tokens around it rather than sticking anything to it. I find it much easier to just throw marker blocks around. Apologise for my dog being in the frame. I videoed this bit with the wide angle lens by accident, but hey, you can see my dog there. Say hello to Hope. She's a good dog. Onto the Nerf blaster. Again, I mean, at first glance these look pretty much identical. I'm not seeing a huge amount of difference here at all, to be honest with you. Let's have a look at these tricky bits here. Yeah, Sermoon. Let's say MetroY Pro maybe got a little bit deeper in there than Sermoon did. Yeah, MetroY Pro is a bit sharper on this section here, but let's have a look at the muzzle. Slightly better defined on MetroY. The other side. Really difficult to choose between these two. I expect you can, I mean, you can see on my screen. Yeah, I mean, the texture on the back strap, I think MetroY's picked up just a tiny bit more detail there. Really hard to separate these. Again, another tie. Gotta be another tie. Okay, on to the next. Mother and child statue now. We're going to scan this in full field mode with MetroY Pro and NIR mode with Sermoon S1. Both of them are going to be using feature tracking mode. Also sneaky using the MetroY Pro's tripod with Sermoon S1. It's a good tripod. And it's going to be the first really big difference, because Sermoon has NIR full field mode and MetroY Pro has a laser full field mode, and the difference in detail here is quite stark. Got some weird artifacts going on with the Sermoon, and not a particularly good double scan fusion there, but ignoring that, I mean, the carving detail from MetroY is significantly better defined. Let's have a look at the back of the boys' trousers there. Yeah, I mean, Sermoon didn't manage to get in there and we're missing the back of the boy's head as well. So yeah, no contest here. This one is definitely a win for MetroY. Auto turntable. I absolutely love this mode in with MetroX and MetroY Pro. It does full field single frame scans, moves the turntable a little bit for you. You can have it tilt the turntable, and it's just really good for scanning miniatures and small things. Now, of course, Sermoon doesn't have auto turntable, so we'll just scan the same thing in NIR mode, just so we've got something to compare. And this one really isn't fair at all on the Sermoon. I did auto turntable on the MetroY, and you can see it's reduced my PC here to like 1 FPS. Sermoon, I've done it in NIR. Yeah, it's not really usable that for anything. But then that's not what NIR's for. NIR's for doing people's heads and things. I mean, there's nothing on the arches there. MetroY's picked up all of the screw thread and everything. I mean, this is an enormous scan. I mean, you don't need to scan at this level of detail. I just did it this way because I could. Yeah, totally unfair and a win for MetroY Pro. Let's measure Sermoon's accuracy in cross lines mode. So I've used quick surface to fit some planes and a sphere and a cylinder to the scan data using surface approximation, and let's measure them. So the first thing I did was measure all of the features on the scan bench with calipers and with a micrometer. Yes, I know it has markings on it, but I wanted to remove the inaccuracies of my 3D printer from anything that I measured, so I've measured them as accurately as I can in my workshop. And these are the figures that I've come up with. These are all in millimeters. Sorry, I'm not going to do it in inches or thousandths. You can work that out for yourselves, you guys in the US, but I work in millimeters. So let's have a look at the depth first. So we're looking at 6.995. That is exceedingly close to 7 millimeters. Very good. Let's have a look at the 6 millimeter depth. 6.03. Yeah. And the 5 millimeter, 5.2. A little bit off with that one. The 4 millimeter, 4.08, 3 millimeter, 3.00, and the 2 millimeter, 1.94. So pretty accurate. Right, let's have a look at the sphere. Diameter 29.75. The actual diameter as measured is 29.7. So very good. Let's have a look at the cone. Oops, that's the sphere. So the cone 15.79 in diameter, and I make it I make it 15.8, so pretty close. These archway distances, let's have a look at these. So the 7 millimeter distance, 6.93 and 5.93, and this object here 15.75. So we'll shove those measurements into our comparison table, and there we go. So brown means it read slightly over, and blue means it read slightly under. But as we can see, these figures very close. We're talking fractions of a millimeter here in terms of what it's actually read. Seems to be consistently reading slightly under though. Over to MetroY Pro. Let's have a look at I've done exactly the same thing, fit planes to everything, spheres, Same as I did for Sermon. So let's have a look. 1 millimeter, 2 millimeters comes at 1.929, so it's 1.93. 4 millimeters, 3.04. 5 millimeter is 4.10. 6 millimeter, 5.26. Sorry, that was 5 millimeter. 6 millimeter is 6.10. 7 millimeter, 7.03. The 7 millimeter arch is 7.01. The 6 millimeter arch is 6.01. The feature is 15.72. The sphere is 29.79, and the cylinder is 15.77. Okay, let's put all of those figures into the spreadsheet and we'll see where we're at with them. Right, let's add MetroY Pro's figures into the table, and here they are. Again, brown is slightly over, blue is slightly under, green means bang on. So yeah, again, very, very impressively close. MetroY Pro seems to consistently read slightly over rather than slightly under, like Sermoon. So here's the deltas for each one, so we can see green means it's where it's closest, and red means it wasn't as close. So I think you can see from this table, mostly green over here. So these things are incredibly accurate. I mean, look at this, 0.01 millimeters. I can't measure that. 0.03 to 0.04, very, very close. And let's have a look at who wins. So we've got several ties, which I'm very surprised about because I really wasn't expecting things to measure that consistently. We are talking, 0.01 millimeter difference between Sermoon and MetroY. These scanners, they're more accurate than I can measure, is what I'm trying to get to. The errors in my measurement are going to be greater than the differences between these. However, from my testing, this is where the conclusions that I've come to. Right, so what do we think? Both of these are absolutely fantastic. As you've seen, both super easy to use, super easy to get excellent results with, and you buy either of these and you are going to be really, really happy. Let's look at them individually though. So Sermoon, it's considerably more expensive than the Revopoint MetroY. Does it get better results? No, it doesn't, as you've seen. In many respects, sometimes the results are worse, but they're on a par with each other generally. Revopoint is a full package though. With Sermoon, you get the scanner. That's it, nothing else. If you want Wi-Fi, you need to buy the battery grip, which is another, I think it's about £250 on top of the already more expensive scanner. You want a turntable, you need to buy that. MetroY Pro comes with the excellent dual axis turntable in the box. It comes with the tripod, it comes with the battery grip, Wi-Fi is built into the device. I think as a package then, what I'm saying is, get a MetroY Pro. It's a better package. However, let's talk about upgrade. Let's say you've got a Metro X or you've got a Raptor Pro. Should you upgrade to these scanners? Well, in my mind, the answer is probably not, because yes, they're both better than their predecessors, but it is a small incremental upgrade rather than a quantum leap forwards. If you're a MetroX user and your workflow demands that you now use Wi-Fi, well, you don't really have a choice. You need to upgrade to MetroY. Go ahead, do it. If you are a Raptor Pro user, I don't think Sermoon S1 is that much better than Raptor Pro as a device. I'm sure Creality are probably going to release something else fairly soon which beats this into the long grass, as they keep doing. We had Raptor, then they released Raptor X, which was considerably better. Then it was Raptor Pro. We've got Sermoon S1. I understand they've just announced Sermoon X1. It's considerably more expensive, but it's like, where are they going with this? So if you have a Raptor Pro or a Metro X, I would suggest that you buy something different. Buy something that's going to add tools to your kit bag. Buy a TrackIt. TrackIt's incredible. The ability to do markerless scanning of pretty much anything is amazing if you have the space for it. So yeah, ultimately, they're both great. I think, to reiterate, MetroY, better package. Sermoon S1, not enough of an upgrade over Raptor Pro to justify buying, in my opinion. So yeah, there you go. I hope this was interesting, useful, boring, annoying. Let me know in the comments. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe if you like this sort of content. I think there's some discount links in the description if you want to buy some of these scanners. It helps me out. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.